Welcome to Lesson 2 of your division chapter, Estimating Quotients. To begin, let's go over some vocabulary words just to review. If I write a division sentence such as 24 divided by 3, that answer is going to equal 8. And if I were to label the dividend, that should be labeled as the total number that we are beginning with. The divisor would then be the number that we are dividing by, and the quotient would be our answer. Now, to move on to the topic that we're going to learn about in estimating quotients, we need to understand what compatible numbers are. If I have a problem such as 642 divided by 8, and I want to estimate the quotient, I want to find compatible numbers that will help me figure out the problem mentally to get as close to the quotient as possible. So if I look at 642 and I round to the nearest 10, which is where the 4 is, if I look at 64 and 8 are compatible numbers in that they can both work together to be divided evenly. So if I round 642 to 640 and then divide that by 8, my estimated quotient is now going to be 64 divided by 8, which will give us 8, and then you bring down that 0. Let's use another example. If I have 538 and I want to divide by 6 using compatible numbers and estimating the quotient, I'm going to, again, round to the nearest 10 in this situation, because if I round 53, that 8 is going to make my 3 turn into a 4. The 5 stays the same. The 8 becomes a 0. Divided by 6. 54 and 6 are compatible numbers because they can be evenly divided. 54 divided by 6 is 9. Then I have the 0 that I just bring down into my answer. Let's do another example. This time I'm going to start with a 4-digit number, such as 2,431 divided by 8. When looking at this first number, I'm looking for a number that's going to be compatible with 8, meaning that it will be able to be divided equally by 8. So I want to think of my factors of 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. Well, look at this. I happen to have a 24 at the front of this problem. So I'm going to estimate to that hundreds place so that I can only have 24 in my estimated division problem. So I'm going to rewrite this problem as 2,400 divided by 8. Then when I come up with my answer, here are my compatible numbers, 24 and 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And then you have 2 zeros this time, so you bring down the 2 zeros in your answer. Now if it asks you to check with multiplication, you would go back to your answer, which was 300. And you're going to multiply that times 8. And if we divided correctly, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 3 is 24. And if you remember, our estimation was 2,400 in our division sentence. So it checks out. You can re-watch this video as many times as you need to complete the assignment that is given to you in class.